We're gonna see how this Omega does. Give her some gas! That's the guy who got her running right there. He's got the timer light ready to go. The Iron Beast, that's what they call it. 1976 Volvo-Penta AQ 178. Resurrected.
Can you give it a little throttle?
We're gonna see how this Omega does. Give her some gas! Fast?
That's about 45 miles.
Got the hammer all the way down.
Got it all the way down.
Working on my boat again. We rebuilt the engine a couple years ago on this Omega boat. It's a tri-hull and it has a Volvo-Penta inboard-outboard engine. And the upholstery and everything, the floor is rotting out in it. Let me turn the screen around for the boat. This is the boat. And the floor is getting kind of soft, so we're going to have to replace the wood in the floor. That engine was just rebuilt a couple years ago, so that thing's new. We did get some seats, new seats, but got to do some upholstery work in here. So the first thing we're looking at is the engine cover, and I've started rebuilding that, as you can see, the new one. So yeah, this old engine cover was just getting really soft, so it had to be rebuilt before we put any new upholstery on anything. And so first step was to take the upholstery off of that engine cover to get a better idea how it was built originally. It was put together with staples, I noticed, so I thought that would be a good investment for my new air compressor, was to get a staple gun, and this is the gun right here that I got. And for $100, that's money well spent for that staple gun. I used 1.25 inch staples, and made putting this new engine cover together real fast. Just went really quick with that staple gun. So if you don't have one of those, it's really a good investment. But we just went with regular plywood. We didn't get the treated pressure treated plywood 1/2 inch. Just seemed too heavy. I didn't want the additional weight in the boat. So for the engine cover, I just went with standard plywood. I'll probably end up putting some of this teak oil that I have here, just to give it a little bit of a water seal on it. But so the cover's built, and looking to do the upholstery myself. I've never done much sewing at all, but I'm thinking instead of spending $5,000 or whatever it takes to do the upholstery work in this boat, that we might give it a go ourselves. And that's what we're gonna kind of bring you along on this ride to see how that goes, trying out some upholstery work on this boat. Carpet pulled up, and not sure what this floor is. Might be looks kind of like a fiberglass pour over something, not quite sure, but I'm thinking instead of tearing all this up, which would be a real job, we got like a lip right there. What I'm thinking is to put some kind of board right over this, all the way back, and just reinforce that floor that way. Might try to find some kind of a polyethylene board or some kind of board like that that's waterproof instead of plywood. We'll look around and see what's out there. Hopefully get something that doesn't weigh a lot. Looking at that pressure treated plywood, and that stuff just weighs a ton. So we'll look around, and I think this job's going to be a lot easier if we don't try to pull up this floor. Like I say, it kind of looks like a plywood with a fiberglass over the top, or that could just be glue, not quite sure. All right, did a little looking around on YouTube, see what's going on, and what I saw is what they're doing is put down plywood, and then they put a fiberglass resin and mesh over that plywood. And so putting that plywood over this is just going to add weight. And so I came in here and was going to look into cutting this old plywood out, and I got down and pounded this rot out, and then I found that there's water down in there underneath the floor, and that's not good at all. So what we're going to do is have to cut out this old rotted plywood and then see about putting a new resin coat in to waterproof all this, so we don't get water underneath the floor like we got there. You can kind of see it moving down there. So we'll suck out that water, find out how much rot we got, and do some floor replacement. Peace out. Nelly, we got a lot of water down there. Whoa, some rotted lumber. That's gonna have to be replaced. We got some work to do. Like 3/4 inch plywood, and it's right to the edge. A lot of work. Man, we got a mess here. lot of water in there. This thing was so waterlogged. All that foam that's supposed to keep the boat floating was just soaked with water. Would be useless if this boat started sinking. It wouldn't hold anything up. So waterlogged. We tilted the boat up to drain all the water back down through that support and got it all shopped out. So we'll probably cut some more of that plywood out tomorrow, closer to the front, or maybe it'll stay there, I'm not sure. And then I'm thinking what we do is just put plywood down over the top of that plywood, and that will give us a something to screw down into without having to tear all that out over there on the sides. We'll just put plywood down over the top of that lip, reinforce the support and that back engine stop wall, and just go from there. Might have to do a little fiberglass work to seal this, but that's where we're at. Peace. Hello everybody, back in Marty's garage here, and well, good thing we found that problem in the boat last night. The water, that boat was just waterlogged, and so we got all the water sucked out with the shop vac, and today I'm gonna head to the dump and then maybe pick up some plywood. We're gonna get all this stuff taken off to the dump that we tore out of the boat, and then get some plywood. I don't think we're gonna, you see some rot in the back. We're gonna probably cut out a foot of that 2x10 down the middle, and then I'm thinking to sandwich some pressure treated plywood on each side of that 2x10, and then even got some rot on that engine plywood. But we're not gonna tear this boat totally apart. We're trying to get her fixed up, patched up the best we can, and I think we'll get some pressure treated plywood to do our work underneath in that hull, and then get normal plywood. I think I'm also going to put an inspection port so we can check to see if water's down in that space, because that's just a bad deal when you don't know there's water down there. It slows your boat down because you got a lot of weight and everything else, so we don't want to have water down there that we don't know about. So we'll do a inspection port maybe back in the middle back here. So we'll check with you later, see how it all goes. We'll run to the dump and get this stuff cleaned up, get the garage cleaned up, and move on to the next step. Peace out.